Hi everybody, Flash Rasmus back again in the Fermi Paradox. As you can see on the screen, I've just gone and pointed to it because you can see me pointing. We are on the early access version. This is a game that is changing all the time. They're constantly adding new updates to it. So they're constantly adding new updates. For example, the Demios update introduced ancient outfits, new events, and performance optimization. A new galaxy is born. Well, it's a lot more than that. Back to where we are with it. Yeah, so we had 3 species going up and running. We need more, but like I said, I never figured out how it actually happens. Whether it's a random thing, or you need to do certain, or you need to select certain things to kind of make it happen. I've also been wondering whether some of the synthesis we pick helps planets get more resources. When I come across as an example of that, I'll flag it up. They are gathering knowledge in Greece. Of course, these were the different species of Jays. The Rao form a kingdom of scholars in which the rulers are chosen based on intelligence rather than inheritance. The trials one must pass to ascend to power are designed to reveal intelligence, aptitude of young candidates. And the monarchs will shamanically certify smarts lead their societies to gather knowledge. That's a difficult word to say. That sounds reasonable. Power cups and I like that. Power cups and intelligent power cups intelligently. I do like that. One stone Rao astrology, copper age glee system. I do like that. Yeah, it's like absolute power. Yeah. So we're going to go regular development just because I want to save my synthesis. Because as we've discovered earlier, sometimes we need to use it to save civilizations. So let's go with ethical values. Beautiful copper works are shared among the Rao and Glee Sea. Let's collect a flare. Let's get more deposit, more copper. Rao mourn the death of a beloved scholar. They've gone to hit a new age. Reached a glass age. Ooh, each civilization have different ages. New techniques are discovered to create a special form of hardened glass which can be used for a variety of uses. More advanced tools, simple machinery, and even weapons are made from this new material. Soon great cities begin to rise in the endless dunes of the Greece Sea. Those who live in glass houses shouldn't throw stones. Human proverb unknown provenance. Let's have a look with the options we've got. Let's just go with power. Let's just go with wisdom. Purely because I don't want to spend any. I want to save this because we're going to need it. We certainly need it at some point. If I mourn the death of beloved scholar council, let's just go up. So they're quite level with each other, and these are a little bit further ahead. Volcanic activity brings forth a new island in the oceans of Tarcity. Stuff like this. I wonder whether these different things we trigger increase resources on planets, which could potentially make it easier for when civilizations pop up. I'm just guessing. An ocean, antique garden prime, an ocean-based life form evolves on land. Well, I want it to do more than that. Whilst animal species on Virgo goes extinct. An ice age dramatically alters the climate in Tarcity. That tells me we're not going to get anything there anytime soon. An asteroid impacts disrupts the dominant animal species of Tea Garden Prime. We've got an event on the marked territories. The marked begin to form collectives that shared ownership of land and lumberyards. As others see the success of this social experiment, a movement begins to try the concept on a grander scale. So many are asking for a stateless society, one based on mutual aid, respect, and true equality. Wow, that is what anarchism. I'm sure that's what anarchism is. When you think of anarchism, you think chaos. But anarchism, as I understand it from when you learn about the Spanish War, the anarchist is basically it's a society where you basically work together. You don't nobody leads. You just work together, share everything, and everything's for the mutual benefit of all society. If my definition of anarchism is completely wrong, let me know in the comments. If there is a state, there must be a domination of one class by another, and as a result, slavery. The state without slavery is unthinkable, and this is why we are the enemies of the state. Mikhail Bakunin, Russian anarchist. Okay. So I like to try this idea out. So if we go, is a revolution suited Earth as common mark, as a common marked embrace collectivism fully. The new values of compassion, unity, and community make the old ways obsolete. That's going to cost us 20. Or the ideals of collectivism prove difficult to implement fully, but the concept remains influential. Many laws and government systems come to clearly bear the mark of this thinking. I do like the idea of that. I don't know, it's kind of like a big... We're going to go regular. I'm going to go regular, down the middle. Probably a bit boring, but... Marked poems represent harmony on Earth. Same again. Marked establish a new territory. Let's scroll up. I want to tick up solar flare. It changes the chemical composition of water on tea garden. One of Alpha Andromeda's inner planets is accumulating a new atmospheric layer. Continental drifting creates a new landmass on Alpha-Ats. We're going to go on example. Let's go with this one. An influential Kular ruler rises to power on Weigel. In Ross, an asteroid is trapped in a gas giant's gravity well, becoming a permanent moon. Kular Kingdom's development event. Injustice in Weigel. Okay. Due to obscure reading of their holy text, some Kular come to believe that they will become immortal if they burn down their own holy temples. Raising these sacred sites without consequence would prove that they are themselves godlike. Okay. If Herostratus has earned immortality of having burned down the temple of Artemis in Ephesus, maybe the man from whom he got the matches ought not to be entirely forgotten. Very, very clever. I think I might stop for this one. Prevention costs us 30. Leaders of this fledgling sect accidentally set themselves alight when trying to douse the temple in pitch. It causes this divine retribution and the practice stops immediately. Or, when burning on the first temple is not met with divine retribution, the practice spreads rapidly. Most major centre worship are burned in a fevered pursuit of immortality, leading to mass riots and grieving of... Well, I'm going to stop it. Yeah, I don't like the sound of that. Mind your regular development. But let's stop. I'm saving my points. I'm going down the middle. Philosophers of Weigel 7 inspire the Kular to live peacefully. Depleted land region of Weigel recovers under the care of the cave wardens. A bustling Kular ice hollow becomes a centre of trade and commerce. The Kular mourn the death of a great sage. Let's scroll up a bit. Let's go back to the main map. The main galaxy. Minor planets formed of mass and debris from the Tiergarten system. Okay, again, another major animal species has been destroyed. Solar flare changes chemical composition of water on Vexus. Let's go that one. Extinct plant biomass on Tiergarten slowly transforms into fossil reserves. There are scholar realms. Paradigm shifting Greece. Old folktales of the row about animal-like spirits that help out common people in need slowly gaining popularity. The idea that familiar helpers can be called for spiritual aid becomes a religion on Greece Sea. The younglings believe that they can summon an arcane owl shark to do their bidding on the night of the double moon, but it is all just an excuse to get drunk on algae ale and mate with each other. Okay then. Occo the Wise, Bridger, Mindbender, 113th Tide, Greenbridge system. Very nice. So if we do that, to new rules based on this idea, down the middle, Vince Moose becomes wiser and rare. Categorise themselves by the different kinds of animal spirits they favour. Entirely new genus are built for clans blessed by certain familiars. Okay then. if that's what floats your boat. Let's go with this one. Remarkable Scholar pops up. Okay. Wow, I've got a new technical age. Wow, reached a dune ship age. Wow, begin to spread across the desert world of Gleason Sea on great dune ships, skipping across the sands at unheard of speeds. These new vessels greatly expand the reach of the patron cities, open up new possibilities for trade and expansion. The dune ships carry wine and glass and gold, and yes, hang on. The dune ships carry wine and glass and gold, yes, but more than that, they carry knowledge. Sook the wise. Ronian, keeper of the knowledge hive, time stage 430 Glee system. That was a mouthful and a half. Where are we? Advancement, wisdom. I'm not wasting points. I'm saving me points when I need it to save a species. Let's jump up to level 2, back to level 2. Let's go back to the tops. Cooler, see they're falling down a little bit. An ice age dramatically alters climate assay through. They just don't seem to be happening over there. Natural global warming dramatically impacts the climate over on that. Nasty's trapped in the Ep becomes a permanent moon. Earthquakes open an enormous rift below one of X's sea regions. One of Alphax's inner planets is accumulating a new atmospheric layer. Marked Territories has a new development event. Growth in Sol. Marked scholars have discovered a direct correlation between the cleanliness and the spread of disease. This leads to innovations in sanitation, including bathhouses, sewer systems, and hygienic conditions in hospitals and food production. It occurred to me that the decomposition of the injured part might be avoided by applying as a dressing some material capable of destroying the life of floating particles. Joseph Lester, Scottish surgeon. Basically treating wounds is a summary of that little bit. Civilization pillar. Hygiene, it becomes a virtue of the marked. Personal grooming and spotless home becomes a pillar of personal health. Yeah, we'll take that. Because it's out. Intellectual marked sovereign rises to power. Keep an eye on that one. A growing trading place expands its influence on Earth. Let's just go back up to the main system, see what's going on over here. Volcanic activity brings forth a new island on T-Garden Prime. Earthquakes open an enormous rift below one of T-Garden Prime system sea regions. That doesn't inspire me that we're going to get anything out of this. Cosmic dust obscures light reaching off rats. Again, that doesn't make me think we're going to get a civilization out of that lot. An Alpha Andromeda storm, the size of Alpha Rats forms of a gas giant. Yeah, we've had this one, fuel reserve biomass. Yeah. Knowledge in Riedel. Keelar create giant stone steels carved with records of their history. When building an ice isle, these monuments are placed at the centre so that knowledge of their sages can be shared with future generations. Of old, when our first ancestor king Chuuma laid the foundation of our state, he came forth from northern Bai Eo as the son of the celestial emperor. His mother, the daughter of the Earl of the River, gave birth to him by cracking an egg and bringing her child forth from it. Steel inscription by Jiangsu of Goguryeo, Korean monarch. Wow, that was okay. I butchered a lot of there, so I do apologise. That was quite hard reading, that was. Regular. Yeah, this is regular. I'm not spending points, I want to save them. I'm going to need them at some point. I guarantee I'm going to need them at some point. Yeah, we know that's regular, standard. Kula, I've got a new technical age. They've reached the Thor age. Okay. Massive areas of ice are melted and kept clear for large, sophisticated settlements. As more ground is exposed, intensive mining can begin along with finely crafted tools that come with advanced metallurgy. Primitive indoor heating is invented, giving birth to a rising luxury class. The gods have granted the blessings of fire and iron. They will be all the more angered if we use their gifts for ill deeds. Daughter of the Red Glacier, Kulos Snow Squire, Time Layer 84 Rigel System. Wisdom, yeah, let's just go with the wisdom. I'm don't want to spend points, as you can probably get. I want to save them. I don't think there's anything. Let's just pop back up to the top, see if I can trigger a freak mutation creates an unusual life form in the land on the region of Virgo rather. Displacement of ocean cores affects weather systems on Virgo. The ice age dramatically alters the climate on Virgo. That was quick. They're motor on this lot. There are start to study electricity, steam power and machine manufacturing in the industrial age. Harnessing the power of the radio waves might allow them to send signals into outer space, but this civilization could accidentally eradicate itself as weapons development. Thus forth, interference with the planet poses a serious threat to the ecosystem that has sustained the rarity through the ages. Modern bourgeoisie society, with its relations of production, of exchange and of property, a society that has conjured up gigantic means of production and of exchange, is like the sorcerer who is no longer able to control the powers of the netherworld, whom he is called up by his spells. Karl Marx. I found in the last one, this is probably the most dangerous part of the game. The agency's explosion of our potential for telecommunication. Hard work and ingenuity are needed to manage rapid urbanisation without critically harming the planet. Yes, go with this one down the middle. Let's select a few of these. And another one. Industrialisation gives you access to fossil fuels and mineral resources deep below the surface of Glace. Let's scroll up. See, they've actually overtaken the marked territories. They're actually motoring on there. See if we can get the Kular caught up, because they're falling beyond there. Volcanic activity brings forth a new island from the oceans of Dogstar. Oh dear. Yeah, that just fills me with full of dread. While exploring the polar regions, marked expedition teams are infected by parasites trapped in the ice. These deadly spore-like structures replicate at astonishing speeds, and the marked have no natural defences against them. If allowed to spread, parasites could wipe out the entire population of Earth. Great. Bear beef, immensely good. Meat 1 hour in seawater, then all well. Sledge is broken. Iron sheathing as experiment. Mending the examination of weight and considerable reduction. Strange feeling and great indulgence in food on making reduction. Expedition died before the trichinosis infection. Solomon August Andre, Swedish aeronaut, 19th century. Okay. Close call, and this is why we save our points. Where the past has steadily nature, the affected polar explorers decide for the good of the mock society not to return home. We wipe out all our. Yeah, no, we're not doing that. Why would you pick that? Why would you pick this as an option? I'm not telling you why you'd even go for that, unless you're unhappy with turning out. We're going to go close call. Here we go. Marked chroniclers were unable to explain the disappearance of a famous fish machine that vanished in the polar region of Earth. Several attempts were made to locate the expedition, but no trace of it was ever discovered. Wild theories abound, from ghost ships to cannibalism. I do like that. That's very, very clever. And I don't read that nearly enough. Well, let's look at you. You've had that, but then it never goes anywhere. Solar flare, change the chemical composition, that's standard. Animal species shows signs of high cognition. We have that, but then you don't really get any kind of way to kind of trigger that into an actual species. Extinct plant, yeah, fine. Extinct plants into fossil fuels. Denotions of dead organisms turn afoot, yeah, standard. A minor planet is destroyed by an asteroid collision in the Tau Ceti system. Kular. Depopulation in Rigel. Oh dear. The rise of cities in Argo 7 and crowded living conditions in these new urban centres lead to a spread of diseases and infections due to their unawareness of the benefits of proper cleaning, washing and sanitation. Many Kula die on an early death. Mankind, which began in the cave and behind a windbreak, will end in the disease-soaked ruins of a slum. Okay, so prevention again. Regular development. Death rate in Gromib is high, and the Kula tend to settle in rural areas while their population begins. So, we're going to prevent it. Scholars catch a whiff of the connection between uncleanliness and disease. They educate the fellow Kula and convince their leaders the importance of proper waste management. Yep, boost. Again, we've slowly wound down our points a little bit. Yeah, standard. Let's just let's boost that a little bit. Ballads represent harmony on Michael 7. Let's go up. Because this is when you get a big development event and there's nothing you can do about it because you don't have enough points. New mountain range on Tea Garden. No. 21. I'm going to crash my desktop again. It's one of these, I've got 3 monitors. If I click too far on the side of one monitor, it goes to another monitor. So I have to check that. Where are we? Asteroid impact destroys our dominant species. So alien life elsewhere in Gliese system, and will it ever invade Gliese? Cosmic dust obscures the light reaching Tea Garden Prime. And Ross, a storm the size of Virgo forms of a gas giant. A lot of these you do get a lot of these are the same. Gliese sends signals into space. Scholar leaders of Gliese discover the powers of propaganda broadcasted via radio messages, wireless broadcasts, which countless row with the latest political doctrine. In fact, these signals are stung their way out to space. And if all of them accepted the lie which party imposed, if all records told the same tale, then the lie passed into history and became truth. Who controls the past when the party slogan controls the future? Who controls the present controls the past? Yeah, I've never actually read 1984. I can never remember selecting. They don't look like it. I can't remember that actually selecting the shrimp people. I must have done because obviously I sat here. Yeah, yeah, we're going to go normal. I'm not going to push it too more than that. There it goes. It's going to hit Kula first. Seismic activity. Minor planet is formed. Yes. Generation of dead organisms. Fossil fuels. Yep. Natural global warming development impacts the climate on Vexus. Climate's changed again. The nation of dead organisms turned to fossil fuels. I'm not sure what you need to do to actually trigger off another population, another evolution event. Okay, oh yeah. Great War threatens Sol. Oh, great. The marked across the oceans of Earth in search of wealth, subjugated native societies on other continents in the process. This plunder of new lands leads to frequent conflicts between colonists and indigenous groups. After the battle, all men, women and children who fell into German hands, wounded or otherwise, were mercilessly put to death. Then the Germans set off in pursuit of the rest, and all those found by the wayside and in the sandveld were shot down and bayoneted to death. Jan Kleart's statement on the Harara genocide. Ooh, blimey, that doesn't sound nice. I would have thought that would be, I don't know what it would be like, either colonial times or pre-World War I. Marked conquests bring death to many in the colonies. 38 million casualties. All we go. Peace. Yeah, let's go with that one. I don't really want to kind of sacrifice millions of people. Does the Earth revolve around the Sun? Peaceful territory falls. Yeah, we're kind of... So that's getting dangerously low. Minor planets formed, yes, whatever. Minor planets destroyed. Yeah, they are well ahead now. Remote territories growth rates have slowed down. Maybe they pay more attention to them. Marked one the death of the beloved sovereign. A Tearguard and asteroid is trapped in the gas giant's gravity, becoming a permanent moon. Kular have developed. Consumption in Weigel. Powerful Council begins a brand new project, massive palace built out of bone and highly priced tusk, great bony protrusions used by beasts of Weigel 7 to crack through the sheets of ice. Large hunter parties are sent out across flames to seek out. We've had this before. This is not the first time we've had this one. Can we afford to stop it? There's a $1 million question. No, we can't. Regular development. Massive rises. Yeah, okay. We haven't got enough. We haven't got enough to stop it. We've got no choice, basically. The works of a remarkable scholar widely circulated among the Kular. Are there beings beyond our world? Yes, they are, and you're going to meet them at some point. I'm keen to hit these flares outside of these things. I want a fourth species. Oh, here we go. Speak of the devil, one should appear. Tau Ceti sapient life has evolved on Tau Ceti 3. A life form on the swamp planet of Tau Ceti 3 started to make simple tools, and they developed a rudimentary language. But which is a species will form a Stone Age civilization? In Tau Ceti. What are our choices, I wonder? We've got... Oh, hang on. Yep, fine. We've got some plants. The Rama. Oh, we've had the Rama before. I think they all died. That was a frequent thing that happened on the first game. We've got the Odo. Aggressive ape creatures are colourful for their packs traverse mountain regions with ease. Let's stick with this unbalanced species, basically dinosaurs. Let's go with this lot. Let's stick down the middle with the Odo. Civilization is born. Let's boost the science. Establish new resource management methods. Let's go back to the shrimp people. Recent nuclear age. Blimey, they're motoring this lot are. With rocket technology begins to take off, the race for the space dominance, and with emerging supergalaxy is on. Jet planes increase potential for travel all over the globe, and nuclear age communication allows the news and entertainment to be spread via mass media. As the row delve into the secrets of the atom, the threat of extinction looms heavy on the horizon. Yeah, this is where we need to be careful of blowing themselves up. Let's go with wisdom. Renaissance technology begin to see rapid dramatic changes it brings about in the society. Inspired by science fiction across the media, the row hope to make contact with other late. Okay. Cool. We need to get these points up a bit. 100 Mark Territories Development Event. Power in Soul. The mightiest warships ever built set sail on the oceans of Earth. The Mark have armed these powerful vessels with hundreds of cannons, forming an unstoppable force against naval and coastal enemies. Okay, once I remember we came upon a man of war anchored off the coast. In the empty immensity of Earth's sky and water, there she was, incomprehensible, firing into a continent. I'm just trying to get comfortable on my chair here. Okay, do we... Naval frigates. Encumbered with cannon and commanded by incompetent captains, many of these expensive vessels sink before reaching any battle. The Mark decommission these ships. Mighty frigates become a common class of sail within the navies of the Marked. Let's go with that one. Regular development. That's not going to do anywhere nice. Establish territory. Once powerful territory falls on Earth. One more, then we'll bounce back up. Establish new territory. Let's bounce back up. They are so far behind this lot. The Vow are jumping ahead. The Vow unions. The Odo tribe. The sun will go dark if we fail to make sacrifices to the gods. Kular reached a flow age. What's the flow age? The Kular learned how to break off great ice floes from the mainland and use them to transport large numbers across the oceans of Argos. Meanwhile, science leaps forward with the first rationalists proposing bold new explanations for the world that do not rely on religion. You never You never really know your friends from your enemies until the ice breaks. Inuit proverb. Profound. Alrighty then. Here we go. Wisdom. As far from Curler discover one another, a great exchange of ideas begins. Scientific principles undergo dramatic revolution. Let's go with wisdom. Let's boost our science. We always like to boost our science. During the farthest building settlement plural. That's obviously that's clearly something that's not been done in the underlying code. That building settlement plural. Let me screenshot that. Print screen. I see if I remember to print screen, so I want to print that somewhere. Okay, fine. Let's hit some of that. Follow on our sun. Let's hit one of them. Cool, establishing set assembly. Right. Let's hit over on Tea Garden. I didn't want to do that. Earthquakes are enormous rift. Storm size of Tea Garden. Yeah, I don't think anything happened over here, so let's just bounce up there. Vex. A freak mutation creates an unusual life form on land. Yeah. Oda Tribes development event. Have they got wings? Pre-production in Tau Ceti. Icefolk invent machines that are capable of revitalising ecosystems of heavily damaged swamps. By blending grass and liquid minerals into mud, the Oda are able to revitalise depleted nutrients in these delicate biotopes. The preconditions creating life were relatively easy to discover. However, we required 40 mil pulses before we found methods for shortcutting this slow process of evolution. 100 mil galactic network vortex, universal pulse, 23M-013X hyperdimensional subspace. Okay. Alrighty then, so civilization pillar. Biogenerations become useless trees, bring a lot to every swamp. Or we go regular development. Mission takes many years before progress is noticeable. Few tries are patient enough to stick with that. Let's go with that one. Let's see if we can push the growth of the Oda faster than everything else. Okay, let's jump out of that a second. So we've now got 4 tribes going on. I keep pressing that. Okay, that's not great. Once alpha, one of Alpha axis, Alpha Andromeda's inner planets is accumulating in your atmospheric layer. Cosmic dust fuels light. So let's click over there. Fluctuations in actual Alpha Andromeda star list changes in the colour spectrum. On Virgo, ocean-based life evolves on land. See how fast they're catching up. Yeah, well, they're gonna make contact with you at some point. I need to get this more synthesis. A minor planet is just to why an asteroid collision in the Kepler system. External planetoid enters an orbital pattern in the Tea Garden system. Now, Scholar Union's resource crisis. Okay, not good. Radioactive deposits are becoming scarce in the Glee system. The effects of spiritual expansion brought vast civilization to a breaking point. While they are dealing with the resource scarcity, will the Scholar Unions find ways to prevent complete exhaustion of their environment, or will they turn against each other? Okay, what can we do, if anything? We can go precaution. Scholar Unions, there are Scholar Unions prepare for the future without mineral uranium. Will these scholar determines preserve their environment of Glees or deny people access to essential resources? Crisis. Scarcity causes discord and competition among their out. Knowledge diminishes while the Scholar Unions of Glees compete for mineral resources. Chance for hostility is 41%. Or we go precaution, we go 39. Chance for decline. Or we go full-scale war. 8.1 million casualties. Pick up the automatic rifles and fight over access to the 2 remaining radioactive deposits. Naval battlefields destroy entire residential areas in the so-called mineral uranium wars. I don't know which way I want to go with that. It'd be nice to get the points. Let's see if I do that. crisis. I'm going to go, I don't know, because let's cover that one. Chance of decline, chance of hostilities. It's less than half. Mitigation in Greece. The infrastructure of vastness is falling apart because radioactive deposits are becoming scarce. Many technological advances are not sustainable anymore. Laboratories are left behind, and people of Greece are trading knowledge for survival. Oh, great. Right, so laboratories has abandoned and mineral uranium crisis turns nuclear scientists into survivalists. The route, however, try their best to preserve much of their knowledge as possible. Strong mitigation. Nuclear scientists are now busy keeping our society from falling apart with literal mineral uranium they have left. The next generation will become more capable of living with scarcity, but a lot of technological advancements will lost. So this will slow their growth down, so I'm going to go with that one. Let's go with that one. Let's go with that, because it will slow down the growth. However, it will keep them alive a little longer. Enlightenment on soul. Death becomes a central part of the culture of the marked. It becomes accustomed to praise the dead, and the graveyards go into places of reverence. Beings are ablaze with the suffering of sickness and old age, and with no defence against the conflagration of death, the bewildered, seeking refuge in worldly existence, spin round and round like bees trapped in a jar. The Lalita Vistrara Sutra, Buddhist scripture. Again, I apologise if I butchered that. Civilization pillar. Mark tried to lead a kind and inspiring life so they can celebrate their progeny after death. Okay. Sounds reasonable to me. Mark established new territory. Was powerful territory fails. Virtual Mark sovereign rises to power on Earth. Okay. I really want them to that lot to catch up with them, because they're going to make contact with each other soon. Solar flare change chemical composition of the water on Vexus. Minor planet is formed out of ice and debris on the Kepler system. Ice Age dramatically alters the climate on Teagarden. Generation of dead organisms turned into fossil fuels and alphabets. Kular development event. Great War threatens Weigel. Blimey. Ideological clashes divide the followers of the dominant Kular religion. A faction splits from the main church, spreading new teachings destabilising Kular society. Uprising, purges and religious warfare follow. So it was determined by start that one again. So it was determined to exterminate all the Protestants, and the plan was approved by the Queen of France, Catherine de Medici. The South French statesman witnessed to the massacre of St. Bartholomew's Day. Yeah, that was a time when there was still a lot of Protestants living in Catholic France. It was not pleasant by all accounts. So we go, religious schism and its resultant conflicts to war with the Kular. Many die screaming the names of their gods. We can afford to lose that lot. Peace. Or we go, defectors are brutally punished and respond with violent uprising. Oh, that would give us points, but I don't know what could happen. But let's just go with it. Conflict. Let's go regular conflict, because I'm not sure where that could lead us. Let's just give that a whiz. When the holy dust of battle settled, two dominant factions emerged victorious in Kular society. Religious holidays marked the schism that first divided them, and the rituals of mourning kept the memories of the dead warm. Kular built a gigantic stone stele on Weigel. Kular mourned the death of a great academic who leaves behind an important legacy. Kular poems represent harmony on Weigel 7. That's a change for what just happened. Let's go over there. The storyteller's task set to inspire Odo to live peacefully. Do spirits look upon us with kindness? Man at Alpha's planet leaves its orbit and falls. Or falls. The Odo reached the Bronze Age. In the Bronze Age, the Odo began testing the limits of the planet's generosity by cultivating crops, raising animals for food, and clearing forests in order to build primitive cities. Early mining and metalwork skills allowed them to craft better weapons and tools. They learned how to document knowledge via writing. Okay then, good news. Okay, advancement. I'm just going to advance. I want to save my points. Simply because at some point we're going to need them. Okay. Okay. Early industrial practices were proved disastrous for the delicate wetlands of Tasset. Fortunately, the Odo later invented a way to fertilise the delicate swamps. Okay. Okay, interesting. Bronze Age technology provides Odo access to minerals on the surface of Tasset 3. Do all the creatures like us exist in lands far away? Ooh. There are scholar events. Knowledge in, I didn't read that properly. They are creating an influential organisation that catalogues and coordinates research and science agendas on a global scale. Civilization pillar. Civilization will regard that they should go direct control of the mass government bodies influencing and ultimately controlling the realm. Okay. What could possibly go wrong with that? What could possibly go wrong with that? I tell you. A once powerful world science organisation falls on Glacis. Okay. The Vow reached the digital age. They are flying. They are now connected via complex computer systems, satellite networks and mobile communication devices. With constant interaction in a global computer network, the new digital art forms cultural transformation is stark and rapid. Preliminary genetic and biological experiments lead to health improvements and longevity, but caution is advised in these and other uncharted territories. Okay, let's have a... Oh, okay. So we go wisdom. Available of glasses with impressive access to information thanks to the internet with processing power to spare. Many launch a coordinated search for intelligent life in the galaxy or try to find cures for deadly diseases. Advancement of continue to explore exploration of space with a new vigour, navigating the pitfalls of mass communitism. City plans explore possibilities of genetically modified crops that are safe to eat and also sustainable forms of the environment. Wisdom or advancement? Advancement gives us yes, go with that one because 160 years, kind of bit of a problem there, guys. Now connect large metropolitan areas on a global scale. Digital age technology allows about optimal access to the resources. Yeah, okay, let's bounce back up to the top. Tea garden. They developed in here, it's just died. Development on Mark Dotis is stopped in its tracks. It really has. Okay. That Kular, I wanted that because they were about to get contacted by the other lot. The Kular start to study electric yet. Okay. Hang on. Cularity. Okay. Standard industrial age could kill us all type message. So here we go. Wisdom is going to go. Especially Kular. Mass producing including medicines could improve the lives of many. Advancement. Let's go wisdom. I don't want to spend the point. Hang on. Let's just read that properly. Manage rapid urbanisation without critically harming the planet. Train networks. Cost. Here we go. That's going to help with people and Let's go with wisdom, because that's not going to cost us any points. Right, that's a few balls to collect. The Q loss support large industrial areas through industrial production. External planetoid enters orbital tea garden system. Okay. There's a few events out. Power in Sol. Okay. For centuries, the Marked have been tinkering with gunpowder. This volatile previously graced battlefields in stable flamethrowers and simple incendiary projectiles after burning, friend and foe in equal measure. But now they refine their weaponry. Cannons deliver long-range damage more effectively, and advanced grenades and gunpowder muskets stand poised to change the nature of war on Earth forever. Okay, prevention. Miscalculated composition, gunpowder leads to many accidents, premature explosion. Regular development. Yep, one gunpowder. With Revolutionary War was 4. Okay, yeah, fine. Progressive harmony. Okay. Let's bump up to the top. Okay, let's go over here. What they are doing, not visited. Are the gods watching us? I don't know. They're doing more than the death of a beloved ruler. These just aren't going anywhere at all. Parasitic species develops a symbiosis with the major life form on Kepler 4. Volcanic activity makes a new island, yes. Industrialization gives cooler access to fossil fuels and mineral deposits deeper below the surface. The Odo development event. Depopulation in Tau Ceti. On one fateful revolution of Tau Ceti 3, only very few offspring are born. The leading theory about how the other life begins has to do with something magical that occurs during sexual intercourse. Could a deity be invoked to supply the vital spark at the right moment according to the star charts, or would the answer lie in a medicinal plant or potion? Perhaps consuming the reproductive organs of sacred animals could optimise the conditions for successful mating. The frightened and confused civilization turns to the sages for guidance. Don't that. Sounds right. Okay, take two new earthen pots, each by itself, and let the woman make water in one and the man in the other, and put in each of them a quantity of wheat bran, and thou shalt see in the water that it is default small. What? And thou shalt see in the water that is in default small live worms, and if there appear no worms in either water, then they likely have children. Oh my god, that's just what? Who the hell came up with that? Prevention. Understandable acts of mating were the case. What? Understanding the act of mating was the cause of pregnancy. Medical and medical and spiritual sages shift the focus to the act of. Wow. Okay. Right. Okay. The long pause of trial and error. I believe that a divine curse is the cause of the infertility crisis. However, methods based on this assumption don't always yield positive results. Let's go prevention, just because I don't want to lose the species. Let's go with more resources. We've got you, more science, markable sage is celebrated. Okay. Is there life after death? Let's bounce up there. We've got down here, we have got more science. Markable academic is celebrated on Earth for contribution to the Mark Society. Minor planets destroyed in tea garden rather. Small asteroid showers enriched the surface of tea garden primed with valuable minerals. Cosmic dust blocks everything. Okay, so we have got once path democracy falls on Weigel 7. That's not good. I tell you what we're going to do. We're going to go over to that now. Consumption in Greece. Oh, this is not great. Provided rather industrial meat products, the world science government raises livestock inside factory farming complexes all over the globe. Furthermore, the meat animals emit massive amounts of greenhouse gases in the atmosphere. See, that's very on topic with what's going on in the world at the moment. with COP26 and all the shenanigans in Glasgow. Prevention, there are changes in reproduction habits within a generation to a completely plant-based diet. They start to tax meat products, turn them into luxury goods, but the taste of privilege for the animal products still leads to revolutionary high energy. Okay, let's go prevention. Let's turn more into veggies. Science falls. Yeah, abandoning caging and mass production of food animals may have rescued rarity from overconsumption. I don't think so there, because we're not. Reforestation experts to establish new resource methods and management. Okay. Right, okay. So, and Ross has storm cells of Virgo forms of glass planet. Well, I'm thinking to myself, I might put a cut in there. So now we've got an extra species. Growth of the market seems to have just stopped entirely. They are charging, and they're about to make contact with the cooler. That's going to be the first major contact. They've just died. They're kind of marching on. Yeah, so we need, and interesting, except I want another species just to limit. Because at some point, if they're going to go that way. Yes, anyway, interesting. But so anyway, let me know what you think. Let me know how far you've got. How many species you've had and how it's turned out. But anyway, thanks very much for watching. I hope you enjoyed. I shall see you in the next one. Alright, cheers, bye.